Oh no, I did this. I moved it. Oh no. Okay, give me a second, guys. I started this too early. Give me a second. Give me a second. I started it too early. I'm going live right now. I'm going live right now. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's only gonna be so long. It's only gonna be a little bit. Okay. Go live. Okay. I'm waiting for Facebook to go live. And then let me put this up because I don't like the way I look on Facebook right now. Also got to bring up my notes. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of It's a Better Life or That. I'm your host, Josue, and I am here on another Tuesday with you guys. How's it going? Tuesday, third Tuesday of the month. But I just did laundry, so all my plain T-shirts are like still unfolded, and this was the last T-shirt I wore, and I just because I'm home, I work remote. Shout out my boss, Dana, because she lets me do this remote. And you guys always see my painting back here. But I just didn't have time today to like look. Because, see, here's the thing. I have an event going on at 7. And I wanted to do it at 6:30, the live. But I have to do it now because it won't be long. It's probably going to be like a quick 15, 20-minute live because I have to take Sosa out before I go to my event. So how to get it all done now. By the way, Gente Fina, this is local Chicago brand. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'll wear their shirt because it's a local Chicago brand. Latino, well, actually, I think they're Hispanic because see, Latino means they're from land descent because I'm Latino, but Hispanic means they're from Spaniard descent. I think that's the correct way to do it. And so these guys are Mexican, but nevertheless, always support local businesses. I'm a big advocate for that. Always, you got to support your local businesses. And with that being said, you got to come out and support on the 5K we're about to have. We're about to host our first fundraising event. Great MC, Joe Cicero from Star 105.5. Please hold. I got to make sure that's right. I know it's Star. I know the name is Star. Okay, that's not it. I know the name Star. It is, yeah, Star 105.5. So, Joe Cicero, one of our board members, he'll be emceeing the whole event, which is pretty cool. I've always had special love for like the radio hosts, the radio celebrities, because they're so cool. They got me through like a lot of traffic times. So yeah, so that's gonna be really cool. That's gonna be on September 12th. Let me double check here. September 12th. I knew it was September 12th. Race starts at 9 a.m. Check-in starts at 9:30. Entry fee is $40. You don't have to run if you feel like you're gonna get a lesser time than me. It's okay. You know what? I'm gonna make Donna run. Our director, the guy. I'm sorry, the girl, the lady that used to do Matter of Life or Death when it first started. I'm gonna get her to run because she's an avid runner. So I'm pretty sure her 5K is at a really good time. So she's gonna be running it. I'm gonna be running it. If you guys beat us, then who knows? Maybe you guys get a feature on A Matter of Life or Death. And if you speak Spanish, you can get your feature on Thursday because Thursday this is in Spanish. So again, September 12th, race starts at 10 a.m. Check-in starts at 9:30. Emerickson Parking Woodstock. I know there's some more things going on, but that's all I have for you guys on things that are coming up. That flyer is, oh my god, excuse me. That flyer is pinned at our Facebook page. So please check out our Facebook. Go ahead and register. There's QR code for you to use right there. And then you'll be seeing it being shared by me and other members pretty soon. But yes, come check us out. You don't have to run. Like I said, you can walk or just support. I'm going to be running. I really want to know what my time would be when I do the 5K because I haven't run that long distance in a while. But okay. So anyways, aside of that, this month we've been talking about, and by the way, I've missed Thursday, but it's okay. This month we've been talking about pre-purchasing and getting ready to buy your own house. First week we talked about assessing your financial readiness because you should always be doing that. You should always be assessing your financial readiness because you should know where your finances are at. If your finances are out of whack, you assess your financial readiness, and it'll tell you. It'll let you know right there, like, hey, get your stuff in order. Get it together, and then once you do that, then you could realize whether you're in order or whether you're in good shape, not necessarily shape, but in good shape to buy a residence or not. So we talked about that the first week. Go check. You can still see that video on Facebook, but you could also see that video on our YouTube because it stays there longer. Second week, last week, we talked about some different loan options and getting pre-approved. And the one thing I want to see, again, you can go watch that on our Facebook and our YouTube, but the one thing I want to remind everybody on that, and I'm probably going to do the same thing next week when we recap it, is that there's a lot of funding that's given to you by the state. And if you're not available to find it, our counselors are definitely going to be able to find it, and they're going to get you all the funding that you deserve. So definitely go check that out because it's really good information. I don't tell you guys the funding because that changes all the time, but we partner with the Housing Authority of Illinois, which is IDA. It's called Illinois Department Housing Authority. I don't know what the D stands. I gotta look it up because it's our partner, so I can't mess this up. Please hold. Illinois Housing Development Authority. I knew it. Illinois Housing Development. And I misspelled it because I thought it was IDHA, but it's IHDA. That would have helped me because I would have known it's Illinois Housing Development Authority. I knew it. That's a development. So Illinois Housing Development Authority. They're the ones that'll give you the grants. And they're our partner, and our counselors will be very well versed known on the grants that are available for you. So come talk to us. Let us know how ready you are to get into a residence, and then we'll help you be even more ready. Okay, so that was what we talked about the past 2 weeks. This third week is okay. So now you have your loan option. Let me take a week back, take a step back, and now you have you're financially ready for a residence. Have little debt that you're still taking care of, but that's okay. You can take care of it within the next couple months because that's how long it'll take you to search for a residence. You also, once you have that done, then you move on and you're getting pre-approved. You already know what kind of loans you could qualify for. You already shopped around. You already see which financial agencies or financial industries, financial companies that offer mortgages could help you out the most. You find someone that gives you 2% of the origination, 2% alone towards your closing costs if you do business with them, which is great. Even if you get 1.5, even 0.5, do your due diligence. Go around bank to bank, look in your wallet and see what banks you have in your wallet. See what banks' debit cards you have and ask them, and as well as search as other agencies, our other financial industries, because there's plenty of financial industries that'll give you mortgage loans. So definitely shop around for not only the best interest rate, because the interest rate is very minimal on what you'll see, but definitely promotions. Some financial agencies or financial there's a name that I call them and I'm forgetting right now, but these financial companies, the mortgage providers, they're gonna give you some incentives to do business with them. So you got to find the incentives that are most beneficial to you. Okay. And then once you get pre-approved, once you have, what you got approved for, then you start your home search. However, here I'm here to remind you that once you get to the home search, that's only the beginning, because you go on your home search and then you find the residence that you wanna buy, right? So first you navigate the market. You have to understand what you're looking for. So you have to, please hold. Okay. You have to know what area you kind of had well, I don't know how that happened. But excuse my music. Anyways, so you have to understand or you have to have an idea of don't mind the comment, that's my mom. Anyways, you have to have an idea of the area you're gonna live in. Not just necessarily specific, so that way you don't limit yourself, but have some options. For example, we're in McHenry County, so maybe you're looking at Woodstock. We also have an office in Elgin, so maybe you're looking at Woodstock, Elgin, Carroll Stream is around there. But you know what? You're like, I'm gonna also look in two other areas outside of that. I'm gonna look in Chicago where Josue's at. Maybe I'll run into him there, or maybe in Melrose Park where his parents are at. He's always talking about Melrose Park, so I'm gonna look in those 5 areas. You at least are narrowing down, and you're making it easier for yourself, because nowadays, thanks to our phones, you could have accessibility to these applications where you'll be able to find listings. You'll be able to find current listings that are expiring, and then you also work with realtors, so they'll be able to give you listings depending on the area that you're looking for. So keep that in mind. Definitely navigate the market, understand where you're going to move into. If you have goals in mind, whether it's a good school district because you have kids coming up, or whether you want to, maybe you're just getting your first residence and it's only you, and you want a bachelor pad with like cool paintings behind you, then understand where they're at and understand the pricing around it. And then also do your due diligence. Always do your due diligence. Look for the pricing. Like I said, you have this little magical device in your hands where you could look at listings that are currently in the market. So get an idea of how much you want to spend. You already have a pre-approval on your hands, so get an idea of what you could afford. Get an idea of what you could afford in an area like Woodstock compared to like an area like Melrose Park, compared to like an area like Elgin, compared to like an area like Naperville. All of those places will vary on what you could afford and how much house you could get for what you being pre-approved. So always keep that in mind. Okay, now once you got that done, again, you're working with your realtor, make a competitive offer. That goes a long way. That's just mainly the realtor. But I want you to understand, like, after making the offer, this is when the real part of like the budgeting kicks in. Because after you make an offer, that's only the starting point. When you make an offer, you have to do what is called a home inspection, and those usually cost money. Cost money in every way, shape, or form, because you pay for the home inspection to be done. So the home inspection is a third-party guy comes out, and they do an inspection. They inspect the home with every fine toothpick and comma. That's the same. With every fine toothpick and comma, they'll come. They'll be like, this doorknob is a little squeaky. They'll notate that. They'll say these air vents are not working properly. If you have low water pressure, they'll note that. They'll go through the home and they'll tell you essentially everything that's wrong with the home, everything that you could fix at the home, and anything that you should fix at the home, and anything that would cost you money to fix at the home. Once you got that done, again, that's money that you have to pay. And then, quick side note, because I forgot to say this: once you find a residence, after all that search, you have to put earnest money down. Earnest money is, again, it's kind of like a security for like the seller. Like you're kind of like how we ask you to pay for the framework before you come talk to us about purchasing a home. The earnest money is the same thing. It'll go towards a house purchase, but it assures the seller, that you're serious about buying that residence. So that earnest money is usually about $1,000 to $2,000, maybe $3,000. It might be a percentage. I'm not sure. It's always been, about 2 residencies, and they've been like about $1,000 to $2,000. So I don't think it's a percentage, but I might be wrong. That's a question for your realtor. Anyway, so once you get past that, you find a house, you put your earnest money down, you get your inspection comes up, and then the results are here. Now, after the results are there, it's up to your realtor and you to negotiate some closing credits with the seller, because once the closing credit, or once you know what's wrong with the house, and you'll be like, okay, well, I got to fix this on my own, and I'm buying the house from you, so you either give me a credit for that, or I'm not buying the home. So you can still back out when the inspection is done. They're usually going to budge, because if you're buying a home, and usually there's not usually, but if there's no other competitors there, then they're going to be like, okay, you know what, we'll give you the credit. We'll give you these closing credits, and they'll take it, So that works. But the cost of the inspection still falls on you. So keep that in mind. Once you go through the inspection and everything goes as planned, and they agree to give you the closing credits, and you move on to closing, then You go to closing. This is when the lawyers get involved. This is when you're gonna get there's this thing called clear to close. So once you get it clear to close, you're basically clear to close on your residence. Now, when that clear to close comes, they're gonna give you they're gonna give you an amount they have to bring to the table at closing. Maybe not a full amount. Maybe you have enough credits. Maybe you'll get some funds out of the closing because of how many credits you get, because of the credits you get from like the financial institution that you're getting a loan from, or from the Illinois government that's giving you these grants. Regardless, they're gonna give you an amount that you have to come to closing with. Closing paperwork usually gets signed at the title company, because then the title gets transferred over to the financial institution. You get a copy. You're gonna get a stack of papers that's probably like this big. This big. And I suggest you probably take some time to read it all, especially if this is your first residence. You might want to just get educated on what those documents say, because it is a lot of paperwork and you're going to be signing a lot of documents. So you want to make sure that you understand what they say. You want to make sure that you understand your interest rate. You want to make sure that you understand your payments, how they're going to work. You want to make sure that you understand your escrow, how that's going to work. You want to make sure that you understand your taxes, how that's going to work. Again, if you have any problem at all, if you're reading this and you're like, man, this is German to me, I don't understand what they're saying, give us a call. We're going to help you for free. And then we're going to help you understand everything that you need to do with your residence. And then we're going to give you a budget, so that way you could take that mortgage payment, include it in your budget, and then you be financially stable for the duration of you living in the residence. Now, again, this is a big overview of things. I made it seem easier than what it really is. Sometimes it's not as easy. I've gone through deals where deals fell off after I did my inspection, so that was just wasting money. I've done deals where they fall off. No, I haven't done deals like this, but I've heard of deals falling through at closing. So it's important to keep your head leveled. It's important to keep your objectives in mind, and it's important to keep your budget clean. That's all I really had for you guys today. It seemed kind of rushed. It is kind of short. It's almost about to be 20 minutes, but that's pretty much it. All in all, if you're getting ready to buy a residence, give us a call. Give us a call, so that worst case scenario, what you get out of a counseling session with us is a budget. You're gonna get a budget, and you're gonna get a budget tailor-made to your needs right now, which you could either follow or no. Again, our counseling sessions are no cost, no obligations to you. You got a budget that you could either follow right now or not. They will also give you an idea of not us, but we'll give you an idea of what your budget could look like after you get your pre-approval, and then we'll give you an idea after what your budget could look like once you have an idea of how much you want to spend on the residence. So definitely very helpful. Enjoy your summer. It's only 1 week left of August, so keep that in mind. Support your local businesses and come run with us on September 12th. Okay. That's all I have for you guys today. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, take care of your budget. And remember, nobody cares more about your money than you do. All right. Peace out.